Stelios, nice to see you, my friend. Nice of you to call in. How are we doing tonight?
Listen, I'm delighted, man. Spurs in a cup final. I'm a Spurs fan through and through. I've got my views on the owners. I've got my view on Ange, but this is why we do it, man. We want to be in a cup final. I want to be in a cup final. So if people want to come for me, they want to call for me,
they will.
Go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it. At the end of the day, I want Spurs to win trophies above anything else. My opinions might resonate with some. They might rattle others. Win the trophy now. Because if not, then all of this was for nothing. But it's a 50-50 game. What I will say, though, Sim, is this. Okay? What I will say is this. Any Arsenal fans watching this show, and any Arsenal fans who watch any Spurs content today, tomorrow, I'm reaching out to you, fellow North London brethren. Man City could win the FA Cup. Liverpool have won the Premier League. Newcastle have won the Carabao Cup. And now Man United are in the Europa Cup final. We, as North London brothers, cannot allow all these northern sides to dominate the trophies. For North London, it's time for N17 and N7 to unite behind Tottenham Hotspur. For North London, for the pride of North London, get behind Tottenham, Arsenal fans. Back the Lily Whites on this one-off occasion. For North London, we've got to unite. So, Sim, it's a rally cry to unite the North London fan base. And as their song says, North London forever, whatever the weather. And Sim, I hope they see sense. And they just back Tottenham for this one game. For North London, man. You know, it's for North London, Sim. So.
For the South. Come on, boys. Stel, talking about the game tonight, were you surprised with what you saw, with how we approached it and, you know, how comfortable we were?
I thought Ange nailed it. I thought Ange absolutely nailed it. Defensively, we were a little bit more deeper. We didn't play gung-ho. We flooded the midfield to suffocate Berg. Every time Bodo Glimt did try to get Berg on the ball to start pulling the strings, I thought Basuma, Bentancur were on it. Van de Ven pushed high and wide to suffocate the attacks down the flanks. Yes, at times it was a little bit risky, but you know what? It worked. And if it works, I can't come on here and criticize. I can't come on here and slam Ange and say he's a fraud and say he's crap. Tonight, the tactic was bang on the money. I thought it was similar to the way we played against Frankfurt, where we were a bit more pragmatic. And you know what? With a 2-0 lead, that's all we had to do. Be a bit defensive. Don't go gung-ho. We weren't gung-ho. And we didn't give Bodo the space I think they were hoping to get at home. We had a few little scares, but I thought Bodo were going to be a lot better than that, because they've been a really, really good side at home throughout this campaign. And tonight, they weren't anything special. And I think it's not down to them not trying. I think tactically, we got it spot on. I thought Romero, who a lot of people criticise, had an excellent game tonight. I thought Udogie was bang on it tonight with a couple of good last-ditch blocks and tackles. Overall, tactically, Spurs, we nailed it. And listen, that's down to Ange. Tonight, I'm complimenting Ange. He crushed it. I'm not going to apologise yet. And I do apologise. The first apology will be to you, Sim. Right? You're the first one.
I was waiting for that.
But we've got to win that trophy now. Otherwise, it's same old, same old. We've been here before. But look, just on today, look, I'm happy, man. We're all wearing the Spurs badge tonight, no matter what your views are. We've all got the badge on tonight. I'm sure everyone that's coming on tonight's going to wear the badge. And it's about us now winning that trophy. And I hope we win it. And I'm mudded. I'm crucified. I'm called every name under the sun. I won't care because I'll be so drunk, right? I'll be so drunk. I won't care. But hats off to Ange, man. Tactically, he got it spot on. We weren't gung-ho. We were a bit more pragmatic. He got a lot of players in that midfield and we shut them down, man. And we did what no other team really in Europa has done this year, and that's to go to their ground and pretty much, I'm not going to say control the game, but we didn't let them be the team that they wanted to be tonight. And I thought they were going to win it tonight. I thought Bodo were going to go through. So there you go, man. I got it wrong, and Ange is he's laughing at me tonight, and I've got to sit here and swallow it up.
A Stella apology is such a rare commodity. I don't know what I'd rather, the trophy or a Stella apology if we win that final. In terms of, but in terms of, you know, how you're saying we approached the game in terms of Ange tactically, you know, you say you saw elements of that against Frankfurt, maybe arguably elements of that in the first leg as well, given that, you know, in the second half, I think in the first leg, Bodo had 70% possession. We had to sit, you know, a bit deeper. So do you think there are signs of him adapting at the moment, or do you think there's another reason why we played this way?
I think he's realised in Europe that he can't play how he plays in the Premier League, because the Premier League is a disaster. It's been an absolutely abysmal campaign, the worst we've seen. And I think he's just realised, you know, I can't do this in Europe as well because it's not going to work. And by him adapting his tactic, and because it worked against Frankfurt, why would you not stick to the formula that works? Why would you not keep that approach if you're getting the results? So I think he has adapted. I don't know why he doesn't do it as much in the Premier League. That's a bit of a conundrum. It doesn't really make sense. But you know what, Sim? I want to just focus on the Europa. If he loses the rest of the league games and we finish 17th, but we win the Europa, who's going to give a shit? We're not going to give an absolute damn, right? I am gutted, though, that we're not going to have Maddison and Bergvall for the final, because we never seem to have our fully strength squad when we get to these big games. You know, against Liverpool in the Champions League, we sold Dembele before the final, didn't replace him. Harry Kane was semi-injured. We ended up having to play midfielder Sissoko and Winks against Liverpool. And it's just, I would have liked to have gone into this Man United game with Maddison in the 10, because Kulu tonight for me wasn't very good. There's one negative from tonight. I thought Kulu was diabolical. And what do you do? Well, you play Bergvall there. Well, he's injured. So it's like, shit. Who do you play in the 10? And they're going to have some big game players that have won trophies in recent years, like Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes. These are big game players. Maguire's upped his game recently. We're going to need to win that midfield battle, Sim, if we win this trophy. If Spurs win the Europa Cup, it's because we win that midfield battle. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what he's going to do to fix that, because Basuma, you're thinking he's going to have to start. Bentancur 100% has to start. But that number 10 is a big conundrum for us. Do you risk Mikey Moore, or is it too big of an ask for a young lad?
Well, put him in the 10.
Yeah. Or is that too big of an ask for a young player?
Josh King next to me says we should put Odebear there. Odebear's had a few good games there in the 10.
I'm not against it, because I just don't think Kulu's going to be the solution. I don't fancy Kulu in that role, unless he goes to a back three and plays.
But is it right? Would it be right in such a big occasion to just, you know, change it all up, like in terms of how we've been playing in the last few Europa games?
You've got two and a half weeks to practice it. You've got the players that can do it. Imagine a back three in a European final of Van de Ven, Romero, Danzo. That's a pretty solid back three. And then you've got Udogie, Spence, Porro as three options that can be attacking fullbacks. And then you only need to play two holding mid, and then potentially you could play three almost strikers, one that plays as a false nine. And it's another way to approach the game. They won't be expecting that either. Look, I'm not saying do it, but we've got to find a way to get around the situation of playing, you know, a 4-3-3 without that 10. It doesn't work. And tonight you saw it. But Bodo weren't that good tonight. We created through the middle. All the chances we had either came from crosses or balls that we kind of drilled in low from the wide areas. In terms of that area just outside the penalty box, we offered nothing tonight. and that's because Kulu played in that role. So I don't know, Sim. He's got to come up with something. You know, he says he wins trophies in his second season. He's got to figure this out. I actually don't know what I would do with Bergvall and Maddison missing, other than to go to 3 at the back.
Yeah. In terms of the final in May, in Bilbao. As you mentioned, we are playing Man United. Is that a good thing that we're playing Man United, do you think, or would you rather play Bilbao?
Well, with Bilbao's 3 main players all out, injured, their 3 top goal scorers, I want Bilbao. I want Bilbao. I wanted Bilbao before this game as well, only because I hate playing top 6 English sides in finals. We don't have a good record. Liverpool, Man United, when it comes to semi-finals and finals, our record against them is shocking. And we beat them 3 times this year, and now we're playing them when it matters. They've got the DNA and the heritage for this moment. We don't. But I guess if you're going to win a European trophy, no matter what level, at some point you've got to beat a team you don't want to play. And this is a team we don't want to play. When we beat Chelsea in 2008, we didn't want to play Chelsea, but we had to beat them. And when we won the FA Cup in 91, we didn't want to play Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest, but we had to beat them, and we did. And we had to beat Arsenal in the semi-finals. This is a game that I don't think any Spurs fan really wants. But if you're going to win a trophy, there's going to be that one game you've got to beat a team you don't want to play. So I don't think it matters, Sim, whether it's Bilbao or Man United. I don't think it matters. It's which team's going to want it the most on the day, because it's an English game. It's an English final. And it's that midfield that's going to decide it for me. Whoever bosses that midfield will win the Europa League final.
Are you confident?
When am I ever confident?
Before you said it was 50-50, which is probably the most confident I've ever
when
seen
am
you.
I ever confident?
50-50 is probably the most confident I've ever seen you, I would say, Stel. But do you think...
Sim, deep down, and it's not me trying to trigger the audience or just be, clicks and whatever I get accused of. And I think Man United will lift it only because we don't have Maddison and Bergvall, and this is what Man United do. And so I think they probably will win it. But having said that, we're in it, and it's anyone's game on the day. And if one VAR decision goes against you, like the handball against Sissoko after 30 seconds, what if that happens to Man U and we get a penalty and we go 1-0 up? Anything's possible. At the end of the day, you've got to be in it to win it. We're in it. Arsenal aren't. So we've got a chance. And what we're going to do, what we always do as Spurs fans, we hope they turn up, and we hope things fall for us, and we end up happy at the end of the day. But Man United, man, this is what they do. So I think they're going to be the favourites for this. But we've beaten them 3 times. So we've got some confidence about us. We know we can beat them, right? We know we can beat Man United. We've done it 3 times. Can we make it 4 when it matters? When it matters, can we make it 4?
Angela's press conference has said, I love winning. It's what I've done my whole career. People dismiss it, and that's fine. But I love winning, and I love the way the boys understood that what we needed to do tonight. What do you think about... he seems confident that we're going to go all the way. I'm sure he does. Do you feel like we're winning that? I know I'm not going to talk about whether he stays or not, if we win it, because we've discussed that. But do you feel like if he was to win that trophy, for him that is vindication of a lot of the excuses or reasons he's made for why this season has been going so wrong for a lot of the season? If he was to win the trophy.
A lot of Spurs fans who are Ange out have said that regardless of winning the Europa Cup, he's got to go.
Yeah.
I've said, and I'm a massive Ange out. I don't want him at the club, but I've said if he wins the Europa, you've got to give him the start of next season.
Yeah.
I think he has put credit in the bank to be given a chance at the start of next season. And we assess it by November, December. And if it's same old, then sack him.
No, I understand. I wasn't asking about whether we should keep him because I know your position on that. I'm just asking, do you think he himself has been vindicated with that Europa League win? Not in terms of just his job. Like, do you feel like a lot of the criticism about him, maybe from you, but a lot from a lot of people, not just you, like but is like
if
he was to win it,
I get your question. Yeah. If Ange wins the Europa Cup, he has literally told every single one of us to piss off. Shut your mouth. Don't ever talk about football again. If Ange wins the Europa Cup, I've told you, I'm coming on here. I'm apologising to you. It's going to be the most painful video I've ever made. I'm dreading it. You know, nobody can criticise Ange if he wins the Europa Cup. Nobody, even the most hardest of hardest Ange outers, because the guy would have done something no manager's done in 16 years and win Spurs a trophy. He would have done what no manager's done in 4 decades, and that is to win a European trophy. Like, we can't just dismiss that, man. We're Spurs fans. We need it. And he would have put a trophy in the cabinet, which is what Conte, Poch, Redknapp, Nuno, Stellini, Mason, AVB, how many managers couldn't do it? They couldn't do it. And this guy comes along against all the odds and wins us a trophy. Like, you can't. The guy's completely vindicated.
Well, would you
enough of a degree for us to not call him out anymore? But the league season can't be forgiven, Sim. It's been atrocious. But for me, I'll bury whatever grievances or frustrations and anger I've got towards him if he wins the Europa Cup, because he would have given me the one thing I've always said. I want trophies. I don't care about the football. And I am one of those fans that said, I'll take finishing mid-table if we win a trophy. So I can't now be a flip-flop and say, oh, well, look, you know, we're 16th and you've won a trophy. Isn't that what you were saying at the start of the season? Yeah, it is what I said. So personally, Sim, yeah, if he wins a trophy, I think he's shut me up for sure. I can't say shit. I can't.
What do you think about him saying people are getting ready? He's said it. He's reiterated it in the press conference now, but he said it beforehand as well, that people are getting ready to diminish the achievement if we were to go on and win it. You know, due to the league position and due to as well, the quality of the Europa League maybe isn't as good as in previous years and things like that. We had a super chat. I don't want to call him out, but Jory had sent a super chat during the game saying, you know, we've only beaten one team on our level in this tournament, and you know, I'm guessing that's why he's saying that's why we've gone this far. What would you say to, you know, people trying to diminish maybe what achievement this could be?
I'll go back to what I said. To win a final, at some point, you've got to beat a team you don't want to play. If we beat one of the biggest clubs in world football, Manchester United, whose current squad won a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup against top teams when it mattered, a team against all the odds themselves have beaten Bilbao, who were the favourites, and they've got to a final. If we win the Europa Cup, you can't diminish it, because we would have had to have beaten one of the global giants of football, Manchester United. Right? They might be shit in the league, but so are we. This club wins trophies. They win trophies when they're rubbish. They've got the DNA of winning, and they're in with a shout of doing it again. So if we beat them in the final, you can't diminish it, in my opinion, because, come on, man, beating Man United on any day of the week in the cup final is no joke. Even if they're not good in the league, they've just destroyed Bilbao, like 6-7-1 on aggregate. Bilbao are a top team. They're fourth in La Liga. So if we beat them, that puts a lot of credit on that trophy. And let's have it right. Both Spurs and Man United need to win that trophy to save their season and to save the next 2 seasons. Because if we don't win it, we're going to lose some top players. We're not going to have the money for players next season. Ange is going to get sacked. We're going to be absolutely in the mud as a football club. We're going to be in so much difficulty for the next 2 seasons. But they're in the same boat. They're in the exact same boat. So both teams need this. Like, they need this trophy. So if you beat a team that needs it just as much as you, and they've got the heritage, they've got the history, yeah, look, Sim, everyone's allowed their opinion. there's no way I would diminish winning this trophy. Not in a million years. Lazio wanted to win it. Roma wanted to win it. Bilbao wanted to win it. Real Sociedad wanted to win it. There's some good teams that are in this competition. We might have got the luck of the draw in some games, but even Frankfurt, you know, they're not a bad team. We beat them as well. So no, I don't think you can diminish it. No, not for me. I don't agree with Jory on that one. I agree with Jory a heck of a lot when it comes to Levy, but I don't think you can diminish this trophy. No.
So I think, Stel, we just need to add Bilbao to your T-shirt. Bill at the top there. Bilbao, just do it. I think that'll be good.
Mate, it'd be Bilbao. I'm sorry.
Big up to you, Stel. Appreciate you calling. A lot of people say you only call in after a defeat, so big up to you for calling in after a victory.
I don't hide. If I'm available, I'll come on. I just want to say, just finally, look, regarding whatever our views are, we've all got to get behind the boys for this final. No matter whether you're Ange in, Ange out, Levy in, Levy out, change for Tottenham, not for this. You love Johnson, you hate Johnson, you think Solanke's a waste of money, you think Solanke's great, whatever. We must come together as Spurs fans for this final. And North London, Brethren's Arsenal. Back the North London contingency. North London forever. And I'm out of here. Peace.
Big up to you, Stel. Thanks for calling.